Yo, what is good? Welcome back to Talks Within Reach. I'm your host, Jake. I'm with Fancy and Matt. Gentlemen, how are we?
What's up?
Doing good, doing good.
So this week, we've had better weeks, as an Eagles fan. Jason Kelsey announced his retirement from the NFL. I thought the big boy would give it one more go, as even his brother said on the podcast. He didn't really talk to him too much about it, but he was very hopeful that he would give it one more go. So that's what the 6'2" jersey is for today. So shout out to the legend Jason Kelsey. And then today, on top of bad Eagles news, Zach Ertz just signed with the Washington Commanders. So just like one of those weeks where I'm just like, you could have just waited like a week, you know what I mean? Like you could have just let us like mourn, you know what I mean, a little bit, and then like another Eagles legend goes and signs to a divisional rivalries, which kind of sucks. But yeah, with that being said, I mean football is hey, every day we're getting closer and closer. The NFL Combine just recently ended. I don't know if you guys saw much of it. The one thing that really did stick out to a lot of people, which hopefully you guys listening have already seen this, but the 40-yard dash record was broken, which was previously held by John Ross, who was drafted by the Bengals. He never really amounted to anything in the NFL, but the wide receiver out of University of Texas, Xavier Worthy, ran a 4.21.
Yeah, that's pretty quick.
That is,
Yeah.
I mean,
you were
I
moving if that's like.
oh yeah, absolutely fast. And when I think about that, the only thing that I think about it seems like some of those, like the I think it was an O lineman that broke the record for the bench press at like 47 or something like that. I don't remember the exact number. He didn't get signed.
Yeah. That's
You
yeah.
know, it's
2019, John Ross is when he broke it. So Xavier Worthy ran a 4.21, and John Ross's record was a 4.22. And then
mhm,
they thought John Ross was gonna be this like next Tyreek Hill, like this crazy freak
right,
athlete but he couldn't catch a football. So like,
right.
you know,
Yeah,
um,
I was gonna say, so with setting that record, he's gonna get looked at by the Miami Dolphins
yeah,
because they've got
yeah, right
every
away. It's like
fast, yeah,
you fit the criteria. Get
they've
over
got
here.
every fast person possible. So
Gosh, could you imagine that, dude?
that'd be
It's like
hilarious.
a
So
third set, Tyreek, Jalen, and then him just zipping around out there.
yeah.
Dude.
So what's interesting, my wife was telling me, like, what's a fast 40 time, because she didn't know the context of it as much. And my general rule of thumb, like what I always thought was, like, if you're 4.4, like that's the fast people, right? And
Yeah.
then
Mhm.
that comes across, and it was 4.2, 4.21 or whatever it was,
Yep.
and that's just
Yeah, it's funny.
insane.
There's been like a trending TikTok where guys are watching or whatever, and their girlfriends or fiancés or wives or whatever looking at them like I could run on under a 5, and then they go outside, they click it or whatever, and it's like a 6 or a 7. And you're like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
you're real close. It looks easy on the screen, and then it's like realize like when's the last time you full sprinted, like full on sprint? It's like most of you guys would probably tear your ACL.
When I had Taco Bell,
Last
that was
week.
the last time. That was the last time I fully sprint.
Did you make it?
No.
Doesn't have a 40. You doesn't have a 4.4.
Yeah.
Um, but with that, we thought it was very fitting that after the NFL Combine, the NFL Draft is coming up. I believe it's about a month away. Around that area, about a month away.
Yeah. First of
Um,
April, right?
I believe so. Um, and
Come on over to Detroit.
come on over to is it in Detroit?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you're gonna go?
Probably not.
Yeah, I got invited to do that one time when it was in Chicago, and I was just like, I'm just gonna watch on the couch with my comfort.
Yeah, I know. So I saw the list of, like, it's kind
I
of
had the number
cool.
one pick. I'm going. Like,
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of cool, like, because there's going to be events,
oh yeah,
downtown and stuff like that. It's going to be a cool, like, they try to make it a cool atmosphere other
yeah.
than just the draft part of it.
I didn't
So
know it was in Detroit.
yep.
That's cool. But with that being said, we thought it was fitting that we would kind of look over the top 10. We're not going to go through the whole thing because who knows what's going to happen through 32 picks, right? But we have the top 10 draft picks, the selections of them. So the Panthers should have had the number one, which they could use it. But the Bears will have the number one draft pick, which looks like they are keeping it so far, but we'll dive into that. Bears, Washington, Patriots, Cardinals, Chargers, Giants, the Tennessee Titans, the Falcons, the Bears, and the Jets. All in top 10. Matt, like me and you said a little bit before the pod started, this is the draft order for now. This will not be the draft order during the NFL draft. Who knows? It could be, but
Yeah,
typically the
my guess
trade.
is 3. We might see 3 solid, changes in this,
Yeah,
but obviously
teams
even
going in,
it's
teams
a
going
domino
out.
effect. Yeah,
Yep.
it's a domino effect from there, once
Yep.
they start moving. So
Yep, they all kind of have an idea of where, who they're gonna take, where they want to take them at. And then some guys slip up in the draft, right? How many times we've seen big names slip in the draft, and then a team trades up because they don't think that that he should have slipped that far. So we'll see what it is. I am interested to see what the Bears do. Nothing has still been said on the whole Justin Fields, and everyone, in Chicago, since I'm from that area, everyone's freaking out about what they're gonna do. Everything. Every time you see a Bears fan, like, I don't know what we're gonna do, man. I don't like. It's freaking me out. I don't know. It's all this stuff, and um, I still genuinely think the Bears have all the power in their hand at the moment. I know that's crazy to say, but the longer you hold on to that, the more these teams, you just have to start planning on Williams not being there. You have to. Like, you have to. So if they decide to make a blockbuster trade as soon as the draft starts, that fucks up everyone's draft. Which
absolutely.
as a team, do you not want to do that?
Yeah, you
Like, do you
definitely
not
want
want to fuck up
to. Yeah,
everyone else's,
Well, yeah, why give them the
right.
opportunity to figure it
Right.
out
Why get
ahead
them?
of
Yeah.
time?
Why give them 3 months to figure out? Okay, well, they traded it away. Now it's
Yeah.
whoever on the clock at one, Falcons or whoever wants it. And then game plan off that. So it's like, to me, they could be telling them like, yeah, we'll think about it. Yeah, we'll think about it. And we'll think about it. And then all of a sudden, draft night comes and. So
Well,
we'll see.
so to
A lot of
me,
this is going to change because of the fact. There's a lot of guys out there who are going to go places. Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson. So you don't know where these guys are going to go, which definitely
yeah.
changes up some of these guys' strategy. So within a month, we'll kind of know a little bit more. But with that being said, Fancy, what do you think the Bears are doing here?
I mean, I think the Bears are gonna get Caleb Williams, but I wouldn't be surprised if I see them just using that to get more drafts later.
Like playing chess, yeah.
I want them to. They're gonna go ahead, stick with Fields, and they're gonna try to build around him a little bit better with the power that Caleb Williams will come with.
Yep, that's literally what I have out on my notes. Is if they keep it, they're going Caleb Williams. I mean, it's that's one of the lists on here that we have as generational talent, right? That's what we're being told is it's generational talent. It doesn't come across that often. But I think, man, it's like, if I was a Bears fan, I'd be pissed because you can really, really load up here. Like, you can if this is generational talent that everyone's freaking out about, and
Someone's
you
going to
know,
overpay.
someone's gonna overpay. So take the 2, 3 first round draft picks that people are hinting at that it's worth, and load up the team the next 5 years. There'll be quarterbacks next year. There'll be quarterbacks the year after that. And how many times have we seen guys bust? Marcus Mariota, Jameis Winston, Johnny Manziel. Like,
Oh yeah.
there's plenty of guys that have bust out of the drafts. We can go on and on, but Matt, what do you think?
It's a weird game. Like, we talked about the reasons why, but it's a weird game they're playing with their, you know, Fields' manager hinting at him getting a trade. We're hearing all this stuff about Caleb Williams and what he's kind of demanding if he does get selected and stuff like that. So it's a weird atmosphere around that, what should be a lock at the number one spot, right? So I think we really need to know kind of what you already said, right? We need to know what those other quarterback spots are. So what the Vikings do if they do sign somebody, what the Falcons do if they sign somebody. Because if there's some of these candidates that you would be trade partners with that are kind of running out of time because they can't play that guessing game, you may kind of almost be locked into, which is not a bad decision. You might be locked into drafting Caleb Williams if some of your trade partners start to
fall off a little bit.
Disappear with signing those big names.
Yeah. I think a spot that I would really like to be in my opinion, if I was a team on this top 10, would be the 2-3 spot. Because I think if you're Washington, you know, Caleb Williams goes off the board. There's people out there that don't think Caleb Williams is going number one. They think all the drama that goes around it, kind of like what we saw with LeVar Ball and his sons. Teams don't want to touch that or
Yep.
whatever the case may be. So they're saying, Drake May might go. Jim Harbaugh came on and said that he thinks JJ McCarthy is going to go number one. And
Yeah, he
and
was
so
he was balling at the
he was.
combine.
He absolutely
So
was. So like, there's people that think
definitely
that Caleb
improved his
Williams
stock.
might not go. So as Washington, it's like they really want Drake May, which kind of is upsetting for me. I don't know about you, Fancy, because I feel like Sam Howell did a pretty damn good job of what that team had.
Oh,
And
yeah.
to be top 5 most of the season in his statistics. I know he had a couple games where he really blew up on the interceptions, but we always throw back to look at Peyton Manning. He broke the fucking record of interceptions in his rookie year and then
Yeah.
used that to really figure out what he's doing. And it's
Yeah.
like it's one of those things where man, the poor kid, if he gets his job taken away from him this season, I would love for a team to go after him and give him a second shot because there's something there. It just needs to be explored. But you're Washington. If the Bears take Williams, you take Drake May. If the Bears do something else or another team does something else, then you take Caleb Williams. And you got Caleb Williams at number 2, which could be the steal, right? So I have the Washington taking Drake May at 2. What about you, Fancy?
I'm on the fence about this between Drake May and Jaden Daniels. I don't really have a good reason why one over the other. That's just kind of where whenever I was doing my pick, that's kind of where I landed.
Yeah.
He looked good, LSU boy.
Yeah, he did. He absolutely did.
So
Jane Daniels, huh? He's lefty too, isn't he?
I think so. Wrong-handed.
Yeah, I think he's lefty. Wrong-handed. Yeah, that's the way to word it. Matt?
Yeah, I mean, everything we've kind of seen leading into this was Drake May being the favorite, but I think it'd be crazy if for some reason, they saw what we saw in the combine, JJ slides into number 2, number 3 spot.
Is that what you're rooting for as a Michigan?
Yeah, I mean, I think. Well, I mean, ultimately, it'd be cool to see him. It would have been cool if Belichick was still there to see.
Oh, dude,
to see another Michigan, a Michigan
that would
quarterback.
have been like the real hype when they got Mac Jones. Remember, they're like, "Oh my gosh, they just let Bill Belichick get an Alabama boy," and then
Yeah,
Mac Jones ended
exactly.
up being just terrible.
Yeah, so that's my only downside, I guess, is I mean, it'd be awesome to see him somehow rise up to that 2-3 spot. But I don't think he's a good fit for that system. Right there, I'd rather see him. I mean, New England to me, I'd like to see him in that system a little bit better. But
and who knows what that system's going to be though?
That's true. That is true.
Rod Mayo is now the head coach, so it's not the Bill Belichick era. We kind of know what they're going to do. So it's going to be really interesting to see, who are the Patriots.
Yeah.
Like we generally don't know for the first time in 20 something years. But I obviously I like I said I think they're going to go Drake May, but part of me as a Sam Howell fan wants them so badly to go Marvin Harrison Jr., man. Go Marvin Harrison Jr., stack up Sam Howell with him, and then you have Terry McLaurin with him as well. It's like, I'm sure they have other fills that they need to go with, but I mean, once again, generational talent. There's 2 guys in the top 10 that I view as generational talent. Oh, maybe one more, but Marvin Harrison Jr. is probably going to be the best value out of this entire draft. Like, where a team gets him, he's the guy where if you don't need a quarterback, that's me. That's me being. I just said with Fancy, it's like when you have a quarterback that has shown that much that Sam Howell did, you stick with him until he shows you that he's going to keep turning the football over. You know what I mean? Those are things that once you get, more experience in the league, it's going to thin out a little bit, and you'll figure it out. But then we got number 3, the Patriots. Like we just said, we don't know what they're going to do. They've been rumored. They love Marvin Harrison Jr., but they need a quarterback. Mac Jones was seen doing no look throws
Yeah.
on a in a facility. The first comment that I read was maybe he should focus on throwing it to the guy that he's trying to throw it to. Not a bad take. Not a bad take at all.
Yeah, we should also forward those notes to Dak Prescott and Josh Allen while we're at it.
Hey, Josh Allen's a stud. You can't put Josh Allen in the same sentence as Mac Jones.
And Dak Prescott.
But also, Dak Prescott got a haircut, and he looks exactly like Jalen Hurts, which is crazy.
Dude, he got that haircut. It's like the thinnest haircut.
Dude, he ain't got no hair.
Dude,
He got no
somehow
hair.
it's still a fade.
It's like that one time that Shaquille O'Neal grew out his hairline because he lost a bet, and it was like starting up top here, and like it's all you saw was just like a little bit. It was just like it was so funny. It's just like nice.
That's the LeBron haircut.
Yeah, just go bald at that point, dude. Just let it go. Like just let it go.
Yeah.
But no, at 3, Jaden Daniels and the Patriots to me, they fit pretty well. Like you said, LSU boy absolutely balled out. Like I mean, he's a stud. I'm interested to see what he turns into in the NFL because that left-handed can be tricky. Like you don't see a lot of his success, and Tua's had success, but a lot of people judge his success because he doesn't beat a lot of very good teams. But that's like a debate for another day. But like it's different in an offense because your entire offense flips. Your entire playbook just completely flips, and you need guys that can work it. And in Miami it works. But is it something that the Patriots can do with Jaden Daniels? I don't know, but I do think that's who they go with.
That's and the reason why I didn't put Jaden Daniels for the Patriots is the exact reason why you said with Belichick gone, it's like what are they even trying to do?
Right. Like there's rumors that like another quarterback, like a free agent quarterback, is just going to go there, get a veteran in there, get the room back, and then draft one like next year or something. So it's like you don't know. Like
I just heard this. Kirk Cousins.
I heard that Kirk Cousins is moving his family to Atlanta.
That's a long drive for the New England games, but all right.
But that would be crazy, man. Put Kirk in a dome with Drake London and Bijan and Kyle Pitts.
I mean, yeah, I definitely think that would be
nice. Wide open division too.
Not to just derail the whole thing. I'm kind of surprised, like getting rid of Kirk Cousins. I think it's like, I mean, is it time? Like I don't know, but that's because I heard Kirk Cousins or someone along those terms, Russell Wilson, go into, one of these teams that they will opt for Marvin Harrison Jr.
Wow, you have Harrison Jr.
I have Harrison Jr. for the Patriots. Yes.
Yeah, I can see it. I like that
because they're not gonna get a draft quarterback.
Okay, that's fair.
Keeping Zappy, getting a vet, and then building around it.
Got to keep Zappy.
I mean, he's probably like $200,000 a year. Whatever the minimum is, $750 a year.
$5 and a Big Mac.
Yeah, it's like the fact that he's still got a key card that lets him in the facility.
It's good enough for him. It's like, all right, cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, and he goes out there and he doesn't do bad. It's like
he gets paid. He gets paid to go like make appearances for car dealerships or something like that, and then
yeah, freaking Kenny Powers. So.
Matt?
So I don't know if it's too early, but if something happens weird in the 2 spot, in the 3 spot, is this the spot that one of my favorite spots in this draft would be the tight end position of Bowers.
Yep.
I don't know if it's here at the 3 spot.
To me, I did think about that. Not to like derail. To me, I did think about that. But when you think about the Patriots, like think about their offense. Think about all the times that we talked about like Puka Nacua having more receiving yards than the entire team. Like all this other stuff. It's like, what is adding another piece like that going to help? Like a tight end, in my opinion, like what is a tight end going to do to fix the offense? You know what I mean? Like
and so I see it. Yeah, and I get what you're saying.
but there's a reverse part of that too because it's tight end position. That's the
I
best
love
position for a quarterback to come in and
I
dish it
love
out to.
that, we talked about before when those new quarterbacks are coming in,
Yep.
your best check down other than your running back position, your best
The
safety
safety
valve
valve. Yep.
is your tight end position. So Brock Bowers was a legend for Georgia at that spot. He showed that he's basically already an NFL tight end.
Ready. Yeah.
So that's why to me, that might be a solid pick if they want to do that. Now, can they still actually trade that position and still get him
In
if
Patriot fashion.
yeah, can they still trade down to these 6 through 9 spots and still get him? Probably. That's to me that might be my first trade I see if they're not sold on
Jane Daniels.
Jane Daniels and some reason Marvin Harrison goes at 2 or they overlook that. To me that might be a move for them to actually get a couple spots and get Brock Bowers there.
Yeah. Because that's going to be part of it too. Is you have to ask yourself when you're going through these positions, what do the teams need and what is their draft strategy? Because a lot of teams believe you take best available. You take the value that's there. You don't care about position. You take the value, and sometimes that doesn't really help some of these teams, right? So it's like you got to make the decision of like, yeah, having Marvin Harrison Jr. would be picked, like it would be magnificent. It's generational talent, but who do you have to throw to him? Like he can run out there and run the greatest routes in the world, but if no one's going to throw him the football, you don't have an O line to protect your quarterback. I mean, you're screwed. It's like, so it's
Yeah.
going to be, it's going to be real interesting.
Yeah, so just to stop you there real quick. So the reason, and I'm just kind of back thinking about it again, it's more those spots that we don't see on the screen. It's more those, again, quarterback positions, the signings we'll see. We'll see if Denver does something at that quarterback position. Let's see if the Vikings do something at that quarterback position. Those are the valued picks that I think if they have to just sell and jump in at 2 or 3 spot, I think those are the candidates.
Yep.
Or maybe even Atlanta at 8 if they don't make one of those blockbuster, big signings. They're jumping in there at 2 or 3
Yeah.
To get those quarterbacks.
I think Atlanta's going to be sold on Justin Fields or Kirk Cousins. I know there's a discussion for another day, but I feel like they have to get one of those two.
I agree. That's my call. Is that's the Fields trade I was kind of
Yeah.
inching towards. Is I think it's got to be Atlanta for Fields.
Yeah, and this whole thing can blow up because Atlanta could trade for one, and then Bears go 8-9. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you never know. But then Arizona, with the way I have my mock set up, I have Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniels. If Marvin Harrison Jr. slips down to 4, like I think he might, giving Arizona Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be criminal. It's going to be criminal because they are a team that shouldn't have been 4-13 last season. They just shouldn't have been. Like you look at McBride, he came out real well as a tight end last year at the end of the season there, Matt. And then you put him in there, with Kyler Murray and James Conner. I mean, it's like that's probably the best offense besides the Chargers, right? He's not gonna. I mean, he doesn't fall to 5, right?
I don't think so.
There's no way.
Because then if he does, I mean, Keenan Allen and Marvin Harrison Jr. with Justin Herbert, that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
with Jim Harbaugh as their head coach.
I don't know though. If he slips to 5, I think you're right at 4. I think that's the spot. If we go quarterback 1, 2, 3,
he's got to go.
I think he goes there. But would it be crazy to then offer a king's ransom at that spot? Could we see somebody jumping in at that 4 spot for him instead of Arizona taking?
If I'm Arizona, I'm taking him because my team isn't that bad. It's just they were so hurt that James Conner was gone, Kyler Murray was gone, and they got rid of Josh Dobbs and had I think the dude that sold Fancy the Taco Bell the other day, as the quarterback.
Yeah, they did.
So it's like Marvin Harrison's got to go by 4. There's no way. If he doesn't go, and I think Cardinals, Chargers, if you put him on one of those teams, it's like you're going to see the real effect of Marvin Harrison Jr. I think if he goes to any higher than that, I think it's it might be 2-3 years before we see him really start to do something until the team starts to get going. It's like, and I hate seeing great talent just burn away on a
Dude.
team that just can't throw the football. Like,
Yeah. Well, and when you look at this list overall, it's like it isn't until you get to Arizona and the Chargers that you see a team that's not in need.
right.
I mean, Bears arguably aren't in need of a quarterback, which is why they might just take Caleb Williams and get more picks out of him or whatever. They might just bargain with him just with that pick. But I mean, Washington, New England, the Giants for sure. I don't know what Tennessee's planning on doing still with Levy's.
Yeah. As far as right now,
Atlanta, like we said, maybe Landon Fields or
Kirko.
Cook. Yeah. So, it's like, and then we're back to Chicago again.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't see him slipping past 4 and definitely not past 5 because
There's just no way.
yeah, you got to have them. And
No way.
yeah, so but I don't even see him making it to 4. So
Yeah.
I mean, he's just
Yeah.
once again, he's just
I
too
can't wait
valuable
to
to
see.
trade.
It's just like, it's one of the most exciting parts because I get so excited to see where some of these guys are going to end up landing and like what their role is going to be because, I think who was it? Was it Drake May? He came out and said, like, they asked him or whatever, and he's like, "Yeah, man. I mean, if I go to a team and they have a quarterback that they want starting over me, I would love to sit. I'd love to sit for a year and learn. Like, I would
Yeah,
love to
just
sit for a year, learn, like, go through everything and figure out like what it takes to be an NFL quarterback. But I
yeah,
think if you're going top 3, they're not taking you top 3 to go sit on the bench. Um,
right.
so, and then, like you said, though, you go from a team that Arizona to then the Chargers, right?
Yeah,
And if Williams is off the list, if Mays is off the list, if Daniels is off the list, if Marvin Harrison Jr. is off the list, they don't need a quarterback. So you're not going to see JJ and Jim Harbaugh, reconnect like Matt would love. Gosh, Matt would be a freaking Chargers fan at the end of it. Just
I mean, they're blue. Yeah,
switch out the dark blue for some baby blue, some powder blue, and you're good to go.
yeah,
But I do think, Matt, you hinted at if they trickle with the tight end spot at 3, if it happens, right? But I don't think it will. I think it's really, really early. I think the earliest someone's gone is Kyle Pitts at like 7 or 8 ever in NFL history. Um, I think at 5 though, you go Brock Bowers. I think you give, because I think in Los Angeles, when you think the Chargers, you think Herbert, Keenan Allen, which is a great 1-2. Like, they're just a great combo. And they're keeping Keenan Allen. Jim Harbaugh has been adamant about that. They're going to let go of Austin Eckler, but then you give a young quarterback, a young generational tight end that's going to be on a rookie contract that they can afford,
yeah.
right?
Oh,
And
the Chargers are in money problems still, right?
yeah, they're in money problems. So you're going to get a
Yeah,
tight end who's going to be on a rookie deal that you can afford, and you're going to fill that gap of, they've run what, Gerald Everett and like someone else or that other guy there for like how long? They just like rotate him in and out or whatever.
Yeah.
You get a true number 1 tight end. I think if he goes Chargers, you see him have a Sam Laporta year.
ooh, oh,
Yeah,
I think
I could
easily.
I could see I could see it
Yeah,
with that quarterback, with that
yep,
system. I could see
absolutely.
it.
Because
yeah.
the offense
New,
was even there last year. They were putting up 30 points and losing. Like,
dude.
it like kind of was shitty to see it because it's like
Well,
I'm
and
gonna
listen, you can take some of those 12 receptions towards Keenan Allen and
do. What was that one? I think it was 17 was the highest at last
yeah,
season, right? He
it
had like
was
17 receptions or whatever. It was unbelievable,
yeah.
Yeah,
unbelievable game
just wearing them
and
out.
season for Keenan Allen. He had a great season.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
he did.
but yeah, I think Brock Bowers at that spot, man, would be a steal. I think you can see 3 quarterbacks and then a wide receiver tight end, which is kind of uncommon because you typically see like an edge rusher or a corner or something in that top 5. But I think it's going to be all offense, and I'm gonna continue it. And Matt, you'll love this. I think at 6, the Giants take JJ McCarthy. They've been extremely adamant
Okay.
about him. They've talked to him a ton, and I think JJ McCarthy is what like Daniel Jones wasn't.
What they
But
Nope.
yeah,
but but but
what they thought, yeah.
right. But what do you do? Like, as a Giant, you just gave Daniel Jones a quarter million or a quarter billion dollars, right? Like, what did you
Yeah,
like? What do you can't just say, hey, Daniel, sorry, we're gonna, it's like you can't have $50 million sitting on the bench. So how do you convince a team to take Daniel Jones off your hands? And who's going to do it? The
Well,
Broncos? Like
the rumor that I saw early, obviously early, was because his contract and Deshaun Watson's contract are very similar,
all
and
guaranteed.
Yeah, so
kind of
that's the one
like
that I had
swapping them
proposed.
around.
Yeah, that's the one I had proposed before to
Oh
swap
yeah,
those.
that's right. You did say that.
Yeah, to swap those guys around,
Mhm.
but I don't know. I mean, it's still what was his contract like 160 and then plus the guaranteed money. So
Something way too much.
so
it was a lot. It was a lot.
So you already see the dead cap hit on the Denver side, and that's disgusting. So if you can't move him, yeah, the dead cap hit for the Giants is, I mean, I guess that's why you would take a rookie deal quarterback in that scenario to have, to just cut your losses and have a dead cap hit for Daniel Jones' contract. But
I think I will say I've never been sold on JJ McCarthy, even when in Michigan. I was like, this is just a systematic, like you talk about like literally just a game caller. Like that's who I thought like it was. But at that combine, if you sat there and actually watched him like play, I was like, damn. Like he definitely bumped himself up to top 15 pick in that. I could have seen him going second, third round as a quarterback, and then that pro day or the NFL combine happened. I was like, damn, like that's gonna be tough to like unforget. Like of just like that he was the best quarterback that was there.
yeah.
By far.
So I got to see him, week in, week out, right? So what you don't maybe, you probably don't see except they ABC and ESPN and everybody like, started to kind of catch on to it in their pregame stuff. But he's genuinely like got that, team mentality first. He just absolutely praises his guys. Obviously praises his coach too. He's got this meditation routine before every game.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of weird, but at the same point, like he literally takes off his shoes, sits at the goalpost,
Yeah.
and sits there and envisions the whole game, as he sits there. He's one of those guys where he's the complete opposite of when you see in these Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
That
Right.
like, you know what I mean?
Like a safe bet. It's like
yeah,
it's like
to me, he's everything you want. Now, yes, maybe he's not quite the highest ranked quarterback that we just assuming is this awesome franchise quarterback, but he got it done. He
he's a national
absolutely got it.
championship winner.
Yeah,
And
he absolutely got it done for Michigan, and he's got all these then great character traits and great teammate traits where someone like Caleb Williams is just making you think like all this stuff coming out about, whether it's his dad or not, about wanting to buy into it, have part of the franchise and all these different things. Like to me, he's the safe bet, and he's got talent, to boot as well.
he's not going to be a headache for you after you draft him. And honestly, and then at like 7-8, if Atlanta still stays 8, like say they get Kirko or they get Justin or whatever, and they're just going to be content with that 8 spot, they don't trade down or they don't trade up. Tennessee's just in a full rebuild, dude. They're gonna take a value pick at 7. If all those talented guys go before them, now if Bowers or if maybe JJ McCarthy falls, you know what I mean? The Giants don't take him because they're just gonna stick with Daniel Jones. Maybe maybe the Tennessee picks up JJ McCarthy because that wouldn't be a bad selection there at all by them. But I have them taking Joe Alt. That he's a 6'8", 320 offensive tackle out of what is it? Is it Notre Dame? I think Notre Dame.
Yeah, he's in.
And it's just like, dude, he's a fucking unit, man. It's like one of those guys that just comes in the league and he's like league ready. Like he's your left tackle. Like he's like he shows up, enters the door, and it's like that's our left tackle. Like there's no needing to groom him. And so when you're a team like Tennessee, it's like you just need sometimes you need answers like that of just like one less worry. And you guys did it too in Detroit, Matt. You guys took Penny Sewell or whatever, like that 1 year, and it was just like, yeah, there was probably some other things you guys could have gotten that draft, but it was like he was a for sure like starter at the exact moment, and that's just what
Absolutely,
that's what you guys need. And now 3-4 years down the line of you guys drafting him, now you guys are a playoff team. You know what I mean? And it's like that's that one position that it's a offensive line is a tough position to fill. You know, it's not easy. Um, and then eight, like I said, if nothing goes, and nothing changes, nothing switches up with them, eight's just going to be another value pick with their Atlanta's defense, and they're going to go Dallas Turner from Alabama. I mean, he's
Well,
going
and
to be the best. He's going to be the best edge rusher in the draft.
yeah,
So
I was gonna say if Tennessee doesn't go, I think you're right. But if they don't go offense,
then it's
that's
just
right.
swap. It's
I
just
think
swap.
that's I think that's where you see either the guy out of Alabama or guy from Florida State. What's his name? Verse.
Yeah,
Um,
Jared Verse out of
I mean, there's a couple of those edge rushers that that's where you think you start to see those either offensive line guys or defensive guys start to fall off the board there.
yeah. And then like, at 9, 10, people are saying Chicago, it's like, they go Caleb Williams at 9, then they're gonna go the what is his name? Like, is it Romeo or Roma Dunze? It's like, 'cause he's that stud out of Washington, I believe.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
if they go him, do the Bears really need like a number one quarterback and a number one receiver? Like, they have DJ Moore. Like, you can make a smaller signing, like, you know what I mean, to get a number two. But like, wouldn't you rather have like like you said, Jared Verse or like there's an offensive tackle. It's like Oloye, like Fashanu or something like that.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like,
Olu Fashanu.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
would you not want to build up your O line or your D line or something that you guys like were hurting during you guys just got Caleb Williams. It's like a lot of things are gonna get better, and you know, whether we want to say it or not, when you get a guy like Caleb Williams on your team, some wide receiver free agents want to come play. Like, now, it's like
Yeah,
if
that'd be
they
interesting.
truly believe in him, watching him in college, it's like you might get a couple guys to come sign a 2-3 year deal, and to be that number one or number two receiver behind DJ Moore. But
Would that be too much diva action
could be.
between the quarterback and the wide receiver room?
Could
Like,
be,
oh
could be.
my god.
So it'll be interesting to see what the Bears do. I don't have like for certain. I have it down as a Dunze or the Fashanu because I don't know. Like, it depends on what happens in front of them. It depends on what they do with number one.
Yeah.
And then 10 is gonna be really interesting though, because I literally have it written down. Like, do they fuck Aaron Rodgers in New York just like they fucked him in Green Bay, and literally just draft like something they don't need? Because like, we just went through all of this stuff, right? And the one name that we haven't hit off on is the stud that played with Jaden Daniels the entire season, Malik Neighbors. Like,
No, I got him
literally
down.
number 3, number 2, debatably 2-3, right behind Marvin Harrison, right? It's like, does he really fall out of top 10? Do the Jets not take him?
I had neighbors going to either Atlanta or Chicago or Tennessee, like 7, 8, 9. I had him landing there.
In the top 10, yeah.
Yeah, I had him landing at one of those places, especially if Atlanta and Chicago are both. Chicago getting a second pick and Atlanta getting a not rookie quarterback.
Right.
And then the Jets pick I had with them getting Fashanu, because Lord knows they need an O line.
Yeah, that too, right?
All their picks should be.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do they
offensive line.
screw over Rodgers? Is like, hey, fuck you and your AC or your Achilles.
we got
we're going
a
another wide
punter.
receiver.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what I was going to look at.
For Devontae Adams for you, like, it's
Because
like,
what was Rodgers' contract? It was 3 years. Obviously year one didn't really.
He's playing one more year, man.
Didn't really pan out.
One
Yeah,
more.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Didn't really pan out. He's got a comeback year, obviously, this year.
Fancy, do we get the Rodgers Jets jersey?
I never knew what color to get, man.
He didn't pull the trigger on it yet. He will before now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what I finally realized is I was looking in the closet, and I gotta match it. I gotta see which one is closest to the Favre Jets jersey I have.
True.
So I gotta get the one that matches that the closest.
Okay.
And they're not exactly the same. That's what I was thinking about. I was like, that's what I need to do, is that way.
Yep. But yeah, that's our little prediction. We'll probably be all wrong besides like 2 picks. So it'll be fun. I wrote down all mine. Hopefully you guys wrote down all yours as well.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens. We'll see, who's the highest percentage out of 10.
So listen, we went through top 10, but to me,
dude, it's a mess. Because like you said, you've been saying this entire time, not to sound like a broken record, but
yeah,
there's a lot of teams that need offensive linemen. If I need an offensive lineman and I want a top 10, I'm trading up to get Joe Alt. I want
That's
a
what I'm
6'8"
saying.
fucking lineman on my team.
That's what I'm saying. We have the top 10, but
Dude.
to me, it's all these teams that are just outside that
Yep.
we're gonna see diving in here. I
Yeah,
think
absolutely.
it's gonna be crazy with trades. Is
Yep.
my prediction.
Yep,
Also.
absolutely. Because like even like the Vikings, if JJ McCarthy falls too much, the Vikings like JJ McCarthy, and so it's good. It's a good. It's that's up and coming Kirko, you know. But we do have one more segment for you guys before we have trivia. Matt has another game for us. We kept Fancy on the playing side of things this week because if you guys missed last week, we had a buzzer beater win last week. Fancy down 3 or 4 points,
Yep,
and
great job,
he
Fancy.
came back and
Great job.
beat Matt. That was the first kind of versus that we've done on the pod. But we have another versus for you guys today. It'll be me versus Fancy. Matt, give our audience the rundown.
Yeah, absolutely. So in this week's, kind of challenge, what we have is we're going to be going through the running backs for each team. So this one, there's some caveats to this because, a lot of these have an asterisk next to them because we've got some free agents still out there. Some people coming off injuries as well. Not to give you too much of a hint, but what I've done is tried to do the best at looking at a couple different, whether it's ESPN, CBS Sports, a couple of the consensus, kind of depth charts. But what I'm telling you is there's obviously some names on here that I'm going to accept as the number one spot. Even though we kind of know they're not going to re-sign with the team and they're probably going to be somewhere else. So let's kind of look at, last year's players as the default.
Okay, so 23-24 season.
Yeah, unless we already have it, we know of a move or something like that, but I don't think we have any of those.
Yeah, off the top of my head.
Yeah, so right now I think that's kind of what we're going to be leaning at. So you got to name the number one running back, and you'll get a point. But we also have the number 2 running back kind of as the bonus category. So I've got 2 check marks down here. What you'll see is the gray one, and then you'll see the blue one. So we're gonna have 2 check marks, in the spots for each team. So I don't know. Do you want? I'll actually flip a coin this time. I know you flip a bottle cap.
Just to verify too, like if me or Fancy get the RB1, we don't get the RB2, we still get a point, and that RB2 point is still on the table for grabs. But
Correct, yes.
you then, Fancy, would have to use your turn on guessing the RB2, so you wouldn't really want to do that if you know, like your Packers duo, right? Like if you have that available, you don't want to waste a turn on 2.
Right. You don't
So
want to
it'll
skip.
be kind of how to get the points at the end. Hopefully me and Fancy can get through this.
Bro.
I know.
At least the RB1s.
I'm drawing so many blanks.
So
RB1s, we should be all right.
Yep, and then I will say,
so
RB2, I'm going to give a lot of leeway because to me,
basically name anyone in the depth chart.
basically,
there's a lot of switcheroos this year. So,
all right,
Fancy gets the guess because he's the winner.
Oh, I was going to flip a coin.
No, I'm saying he gets to guess the coin flip.
Oh, okay. Fancy,
he's home.
Tails?
Heads.
Oh, he switched it up.
Tails.
All right. Hey, I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll go first.
The board is yours.
I'm gonna go on the NFC South. I'm gonna go Alvin Kamara and Jamal Williams. I figured you like that one, you know?
Oh, NFC South. Oh my god, I was looking at the AFC South. I was like, what?
He's like, dude, when did he get over there?
Yeah. Okay, so we can jump around and pick.
Oh yeah, dude, it's not in order. It's whatever you're comfortable with, brother. I left the Packers up for grabs for you just to give you an easy.
That's easy. Yeah, give me started.
He's
like NFC North Eddie Lacy.
Since I'm moving the graphic, do you wanna keep track of score for me?
I will. Right. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do like. I just wrote down 2 for me because.
Yes.
I'm doing tick marks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's go to Green Bay and do Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon.
So could you rephrase that, please?
Oh, Aaron Jones 1, AJ Dillon 2.
Thank you. That is correct. AJ Dillon is who I had an asterisk next to. Because
Eddie still back there, yeah.
Because I don't know.
Dude, what do you think he's up to right now?
signed his.
Bucket of ice cream.
I think I think he's on the end of his deal, and I don't think he's re-signed yet. Is my understanding of it when I researched it. So
Yeah.
I think he is re-signing with them, but he's one of those that I don't know that we've had it done yet.
I'm trying to like look through and see if I can find like some like I'm trying to like be strategic with this and like take ones that may be easy because I know like
Take
some
the
that
ones that
aren't.
he might know.
Yeah,
almost,
that's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
I'm not stumped or anything, but I'm like, which ones might he know? Like, I wanted to give him the Packers though. I had to give him Packers, right? Like, I'm gonna go NFC West.
Okay.
CMC 1, Elijah Mitchell 2.
You are correct. 2 points for Jay.
So I figured Fancy knows a little bit about CMC. He carried him to a couple fantasy football
Yeah,
wins.
that guy helped.
That guy helped.
That guy helped. That 1 week. That 1 week he got me over the edge there. I'm gonna go to the AFC South. And it's Tank Dell Jr., I think is his name. For number 1 and Singletary, number 2.
All right. So what team are you picking?
Texans.
Okay. And then give me the number 1.
Tank Dell. And then was it Devin Singletary?
So you are incorrect. 0 points for you, sir.
All right, I'm gonna take that from him, and I'm gonna go Texans. Devin Singletary RB1, and RB2 would be give me 1 second. Dameon Pierce.
That is correct.
Oh, Tank Dell is
Tank Dell's a wide receiver.
That's right. I was like, man, I just remember that name.
He was a standout for
That's
them.
the dude.
Yes,
That's the guy that freaking like fractured his leg on a goal line.
Yeah,
It was his
On a
femur.
run though. On a run, to be fair.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I've told you that before. In a hockey game when I was little, I was on the ice with someone who broke his femur, and it's a horrific injury. So
yeah, that's disturbing.
All right, so that was a steal. So that was an interesting spot because you did not get the RB1 spot.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, he's able to use his turn to take both
right
points from you. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
but he's back on the clock now.
But now you're back on the clock. So if you would have got the first one right, he could have swooped in and taken the RB2 and got that one extra point that you missed.
I don't know if it'd be.
But he would have wasted it.
Yeah,
but he would have wasted it. So
right.
That's why
there's gonna be some.
valuable.
I don't know if I'll get a lot of RB2s here. I don't know.
Can we get a point?
It is 6-2 at the moment.
Yeah. Thank you.
Fancy,
you are on the clock.
Yeah. Trying to remember. We'll go back to the NFC North.
Ooh, I know he's gonna go on me.
I think I'm gonna go with the Lions. I want to say it's Gibbs, number 1, and Montgomery, number 2.
Yeah, I'll give him that because me and Matt already talked about that one. Like, I think technically it's Montgomery 1 and Gibbs 2, but it's like they both get like at the same amount of snaps. So it's like, how do you say who's 1, 2? I literally was telling them that like with those situations, you just get that because it's like depth chart's just weird on what they want to label it. What is it? I am curious though. Do they list Montgomery as 1?
Correct. Yes.
Because he's the bigger back. He's the he's the workhorse. So he's gonna get it now. That makes sense.
Okay.
All right, hey, let's just stay with the NFC. Let's just stay with the NFC North. I'll go Bears, Khalil Herbert, and Rashawn Johnson.
2 points.
Trying to wipe out the division. You know what I mean? The Vikings are going to be tough, though.
Yeah,
the best division in football. Good job, guys. You're doing great.
We're on the East.
Let's go with the Bengals. And RB1 is Joe Mixon. And
I'll be impressed if you get 2.
I'm drawing like a complete blank on number 2. I don't even have an answer. I don't have a name.
Okay.
No guess there?
No,
I don't want to. Yeah, you could take a guess if you want to.
I mean, I can't. Like, there's not even a name.
You're good. I'll just say because I just wanted to let you know that you don't get a minus if you like.
Right. It's like there's just not a name.
So this, just so you guys know, this is an asterisk. I don't know if you saw the most recent report as well. Joe isn't locked in. I don't think for this upcoming
No, he's
year.
not. He's not right now. No, at the moment.
Right.
So
Off
he,
last year, we're still yeah.
yeah. So he's one of those where technically he may be the incumbent, but we don't have him locked in technically. But
I really want to challenge myself and go Vikings here, but it's like one of those I don't think Fancy's gonna touch. So it's like, oh, I gotta get that one out of Fancy. So Fancy, you got 5 for you, 8 for me at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Because I
who's
know RB1 for the Vikings.
well? Wait,
'Cause
who's
they
2
technically
for
just
Bengals?
huh?
I'm just curious. Who's number 2 for Bengals?
I can't see it
it's
because
still on the board.
yeah,
He
'cause he's
doesn't
still
want to
on the
waste his
board.
spot.
I do know it, but I don't want to waste my turn on him.
Oh, so you can still come back to it.
Yeah. That's what I'm
later.
saying. Like,
Oh,
'cause now if
okay.
you're down a couple points, if you somehow just like want to throw a guess out there, you can get it. You know?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Man. Because there's other ones I can just easily grab. So it's like, do I just grab them and then come back? We'll just do that. I'll go AFC North, Baltimore Ravens, J.K. Dobbins,
Mm.
Gus Edwards, Keaton Mitchell, Justice Hill, Melvin Gordon.
That's literally what I wrote down for the number 2 spot is everybody that they've signed
Everyone
in the
that has been
history.
in the league. Dalvin Cook.
Yes, that was that's the other one. So yeah, that
Dude,
one
there's
was
so many.
that's a tough one. Who, just out of curiosity, who would you list out of all of those as the number 2?
So first of all, I'm not putting J.K. Dobbins as 1. I'm putting Gus Edwards as 1. And theoretically, if we're talking depth chart, it'd be Gus Edwards, Keaton Mitchell, and then Justice Hill plays the like Jerick McKinnon role.
Yeah,
of three.
that's probably accurate. And then J.K. Dobbins obviously coming off the injury
We'll see what
again.
happens. Yeah.
So it'd be cool to see. So
Yeah. All right, Fancy.
I'm trying to think. I've got a 1 in my mind. I'm trying to think of who the number 2 was. And I might be thinking of number 2 as number 1, which is what I'm trying to clarify. Because they just won the Super Bowl. And Pacheco, I want to say, is number 1, but it's one of those things when you have such a versatile offense and they just different people do different things. After I messed up in Houston, it's like, you motherfucker, you know.
Just think.
now you're second guessing
It's
yourself.
well, I'm just trying to remember. Like, I'm trying to think when I see it. Is it
all those memes of him running.
I thought that was Pacheco that ran like that. That's what I said first, right?
So don't second guess
Don't
yourself.
second guess yourself. You're
No,
good.
no,
You
no.
got
I'm
it.
trying to think the second.
Okay.
The second one too. I'm second guessing.
I want to say. I'll give you a hint. I want to say it's LSU boy.
Edwards Hilaire is who was coming to mind.
Yeah, I think he's LSU boy. Could be wrong. I could be really wrong on that.
So this one was one that I was going to accept 2 answers for, because on the depth chart it's Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Okay, but to me, the true number 2, who I see on the passing down backs, who I see out there anytime during the 2-minute drill, is Jerick McKinnon.
Yeah.
To me, I would lean as him, but I think on the depth charts that I kind of coordinated with everybody was Clyde Edwards-Helaire. But I thought also I have an asterisk next to him because he might be a running back that's in limbo as well. So
right. Oh, he definitely is.
But I'm gonna accept 2 points for Fancy. I think you had a spot on.
So 10-7 at the moment.
Yeah.
I'll go back to the NFC South. And I'll go Atlanta Falcons, Bijan Robinson, and Tyler Algier.
Bijan 1, Algier 2.
Yep. Algier, whatever.
You got
Cordell Patterson is 3.
I was like, who?
2 points.
Dude, he actually was a hell of a fantasy back because he was getting in more than Bijan was for some reason.
Which was great.
They run him all the way down, dude, and then they'd be like the goal line, like, all right, Tyler, get in there. I'm just like, bruh.
Yeah. that was the downfall and the demise of having Arthur Smith.
Fuck that guy.
Just ruined that offense that had a couple nice pieces to it. So
yeah. Well, I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. With
Yep.
Tony Pollard as one. Can't remember who that.
Midget boy.
Yeah, I can't think of his name. He's like 5'5", and I don't know if he played 10 snaps. I don't know his name. I'm just gonna go with Tony Pollard, number one.
You want to give a guess?
No, I know there's nothing that comes to mind.
So you are correct. This is again an asterisk because we don't know for sure that he's going to sign yet. But
Right.
Tony Pollard won.
I'll keep hammering away at the NFC South just to get the worst division out of football. Depth chart wise, it's at the beginning. Like I guess it just depends. Like, am I going to get penalized because
Probably.
Okay.
Probably.
Maybe I won't go there then. Because depth chart wise, it's one, but the other one was number one most of the season because he was hurt. So it's like, but
Probably.
Who are you going with?
I'm going somewhere else. If you're gonna.
Why don't what team are you talking about?
I said the Panthers.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Go
ahead.
That's okay. I'll go. You're waiting to strike me down, so it's like I'll go AFC North, and I'll go Najee number one, Jalen Warren number two.
2
I
points.
would never got Warren. That's soon. Never.
Dude, Jalen Warren almost took his job. Now they're 50-50. Like, he's
Yeah.
a monster.
I'm just terrible at names. Okay. Well, let me just steal one again. Let's go to the Giants and get Saquon, number one.
Correct.
And
I'm interested to see you have number two there because
I don't have anyone for number two.
he used to be on the Vikings fancy, I think.
Yeah, I don't keep track of those guys.
Fair enough.
I'm lucky I got 3 teams doubles.
What's the score recap, please?
9
now
to 14.
Fancy has 9 and I have 14.
Okay.
I think I'm 7 for 7 on 2 for 2. I'm just gonna take my Eagles off of it so that Fancy doesn't leave one check mark on me. DeAndre Swift and Kenneth Gainwell.
2 points.
Which is so weird. We never used Rashad Penny. Like, he was such a stud in Seattle, and then we just never used him. I think he had like 3 snaps.
Him and your backfield's weird, and then Boston Scott,
the giant killer. He gets all of his snaps against the New York Giants. Otherwise, we don't even use him.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's to me, that's
so
crazy.
Weird.
But
yeah, I'm trying to think if I got anybody else coming to mind at all.
So if you want, I'll just give you this.
You still definitely know of some because
last week's segment we did some free agent names.
Yeah,
you can just chip away at those if you need to.
Yeah, but I'm trying not to just look at my list of names.
You can that's gonna. You didn't do the research. You didn't do the research ahead of time, like
right. I just got just some names wrote down.
Yeah, you're good.
There we go. Ooh. Once again, I'm like, I don't know who number 2 is.
Yeah, that's the part that gets you. Is like sometimes you got to think like.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, but I mean, knowing the number 2 guy on teams I don't regularly watch, I get a 10-second clip of him on Red Zone. It's like I'm not gonna remember that guy. But I'm gonna go with the Raiders and go with Josh Jacobs, number 1.
Can you name number 2?
No. No.
So Josh Jacobs is the asterisk because every single thing points with obviously him going somewhere else. So he is for our game today number 1.
Yep. I will go the last team in the NFC East. And the number 1 is Brian Robinson, and the number 2 is Antonio Gibson.
2 points.
At the moment, it is 10-18.
Yeah.
Plenty of check marks available.
Yeah, but I am gassed on who it could be. Even the teams I did like watch closer, like the Bucks and stuff. I'm like, there's not a name coming to mind. I'm gonna go and take my 1 point with Tennessee and get Derrick Henry.
There you go.
Number 1.
Yep.
I think I'm gonna stay in that AFC South with him and take Jonathan Taylor at 1 and Zach Moss at 2.
Yeah.
2 points.
I'm running thin now though because
So and again,
now I'm really starting to like
just as a caveat again, Zach Moss I had an asterisk because I think he was on an expiring deal as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. And we just talked about him last week, and I think we might have talked about him earlier for the Chargers, and I cannot think of because I got him mixed up with Eckler, and I'm like, the fuck was your name?
No.
Oh, Eckler's the one I got.
Correct.
Who was like what?
You got Eckler mixed up with Keenan Allen.
Oh, Keenan Allen, that's right. Yeah, so Eckler, RB1 for the Chargers. Yeah,
correct.
I was like, no way he reverses his thing again.
That'd be fun.
Then he just goes Keenan Allen. I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Do you know the number 2 spot?
No.
Okay. So Jake, I'm thinking what we should have done then is just had you. If he can't name it, he doesn't get the 2 points. You just give us the name.
I might be able to raffle off some, but let's keep going for now.
So let's just try to knock these out, and then I think we'll just probably have to have a rapid fire.
I think I might be
telling me the number 2.
Yeah, I mean, because at some point he can't catch up, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Right now it's 20-12.
Yep. Let him knock out the ones that he can, and then I think we're gonna have you.
I think I'm out. Like I think I'm out.
Okay.
No, you got it.
But I'm telling you, like I cannot think of.
I'm gonna knock out some tougher ones though. That maybe it'll help Fancy like focus on some other ones. All right, okay. We might get our first. Ooh. All right, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna clear off the AFC North. This one's gonna be tricky because NFC North, they're running back 1 obviously blew his kneecap out, but it's still Nick Chubb.
Correct.
Number 2 is Jerome Ford, who took over as the RB1. Then their RB2 technically was Kareem Hunt.
That's exactly how I had it written up as well.
Okay, cool. All right, so Fancy, you have yourself as 12, right? And I have 22.
Yeah, I'm at 12. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. You got to know Buffaloes,
dude. I'm
pretty sure.
I'm not saying I don't know. I'm sure I did. I'm telling you, I just cannot think of a name.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like it's just not coming to me.
You got your daily fantasy lineups in that notebook right there.
No, I
just got all of his stuff.
It's so funny. I actually like last night I was like laying in bed and I was like cleaning up like my photo album and I was like, yeah, look at all those guys. Like I literally just deleted all that stuff. So no, I don't. I mean, I really don't have a not one name that I could think of. Because I get them mixed up with wide receivers, so it's like I don't even.
True.
You know.
How many full teams?
You picked the Tampa Bay guy literally probably
6-7
weeks.
Times.
Yeah, at least. You got to know his name.
No.
No.
Trust me. I've stared at that so much because I'm like I said, I've watched them just as close as I watched the Packers probably, and I can't think of.
All right, Jake, I want you to go back to the Panthers then, and
yeah,
and give me what your thought process is.
Fancy just.
Yeah, I'm throwing in towel. I literally cannot think of another name.
All right, so I can clean up the AFC North.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
go ahead.
get the other Bengals.
Chase Brown, backup, because he's supposed to be taking over.
So that's I to me that is correct on the depth chart. But Trayvon Williams, and to me, Chris Evans did a solid job. Backup
Oh,
at number
yeah.
two, but yes, I think he's pushed out for sure because Chase Brown's coming in.
Yep. AFC West, Chargers, Joshua Kelly.
Or do you want me to still use the check marks for you so you can
Yeah,
visually
that way
see
I
it?
can-
Okay.
Yeah. So
You said
Joshua Kelly for the Chargers.
Correct.
Raiders will be Zamir White.
That is correct.
I might bounce around a little bit here. That just comes to mind, but
That's fine.
I really want to get rid of the Vikings because I feel like I know it. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm perfect right now, and I don't want to mess up. But they just cut him. But the number one is still Alexander Madison, technically, because that's who was the number one all season.
So to me, they did make the move.
Okay, so then
that's why
right now it's Ty Chandler and Cam Akers.
Correct. Okay.
That's why I'm like I have the list, just like with
Yes.
the Panthers. I have the list of it, but it's like I don't know.
To me, that one the move was made.
Okay.
So technically
Ty
he's not.
Chandler's gonna be number one.
Yep. And then Cam Akers too.
Cowboys NFC East backup was Deuce Vaughn or that like Rico Dottle or whatever. Or
That's
I want to say it's Deuce Vaughn. Like
correct.
Yeah.
So that one's a weird backfield. Yeah, I would have accepted either of those.
Giants backup Matt Breida, who used to be the running back for the Vikings.
So not on the depth chart. That's what I thought.
He's not on the team anymore then because
That
he like when Barkley was out, Matt Breida was a huge fantasy.
I agree.
Pickup. I literally used him so much this season as a filler.
Yep. No, I agree. And I ended up picking him up when Saquon was out for a couple weeks. So yeah, I'm right there with you. Do you know another guy would be then?
For the Giants?
Yes.
Well, Matt Breida's not good enough.
I did not here. I'll do because
I know. I mean, it just depends because like one game it was Matt Breida. Then they had a guy from the Colts who played last year on the Colts. Deion Jackson.
So they've got him listed as the 4 spot.
Deion?
Oh no, Breida.
Yeah. So where's Deion Jackson at? Because he started a game this year for the Giants. That's what I'm saying. That backfield is a fucking mess.
Yeah,
there's no, and when you have a guy like Barkley, you typically don't have a solid number 2. When you have a solid number 2, it's typically guys that split, like Gibbs and Montgomery and Dillon and Jones and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's one stuff. They've got Brightwell listed though.
He didn't even fucking really play. That's the crazy part.
So that
must be like going into the season.
Yep.
And then honestly, Seattle, we gotta get Seattle off the list because I know Seattle. Seattle is Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet.
Correct.
I remember the Kenneth guy now.
Yeah, Kenneth Walker, the third.
Yeah.
And then I'll go Cardinals, James Conner, and then their backup, I want to say, is Chase Edmonds. Also funky though because
Chase Edmonds is no longer on the team.
But he's the number 2 all season is what I'm trying to get at. James Conner was out.
He has signed with another team and he is their number 2 on another team.
I know, but the rule is we're going 23-24.
Unless the move has been made.
Oh, like they've already been signed. They're not just a free agent.
Yes, not just
who do you sign to?
He is the number 2 on another team.
Okay, well the Jets released. That's not a wrong one though because he was on the team and then signed somewhere else.
Yeah,
his backup then because number 3 or number 4 was Michael Carter because the Jets released him. The Cardinals pick him up.
Correct.
Okay.
Or I would have accepted the guy that stepped in to that role.
He's got a cool last name, like
Yes.
or his first
Yes.
name's like Amari. It's like Amari Desiato or
DeMarcado.
DeMarcado. Yeah, whatever.
Yep.
Same shit. Cool name though. Okay, so Cardinals is gone though. Seahawks are gone. Giants are gone. Right? You just need the extra check mark. Giants.
Oh, got it.
Derrick Henry's backup is Tyjae Spears, but technically Derrick Henry's not on the team anymore. But you gave it to Fancy.
So do you understand
Yeah,
my
but he's off
logic?
the team. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't
Do
care.
you understand my logic?
Yeah, I got you now. I got you now.
Of that spot. Okay. But yes, that is correct. Tyjae Spears. You can get Miami, right?
AFC North I wiped. AFC North I wiped. East I wiped for NFC. I'm avoiding some teams because I'm still uncertain. Fuck. All right, we'll go with the Panthers, and I'll walk you through it because
Okay, go ahead.
they're number 1 on the depth chart. Miles Sanders, and number 2 is Chuba Hubbard, but Miles Sanders was hurt most of the season, so the dilemma there is Chuba Hubbard could be the number 1, and then they also had another back because obviously Miles Sanders was hurt, so but that's 1-2 technically in their depth chart.
Final answer?
Miles Sanders, Chuba Hubbard.
Swap those and you would be correct.
Yeah, but see, they're still going
So
off of
your
Miles Sanders technically being hurt. You know what I mean? Like,
so that's why your rationale
you
is
don't sign a guy to $6 million a year and then make him number 2. You know, it's like
yes.
that's what's like.
Your
shitty.
rationale is absolutely correct, but
what was the trade that you had? You had Chuba Hubbard for Rashee Rice, one of the worst trades ever. Remember?
Yes, because all of my running backs were out that week. Every single running back was out that week because Javonte, David Montgomery.
I'm gonna help Fancy out on the Bucs side because now I knew who the number 1 was, but now that I know, because I know where Chase Edmonds signed now, so not that you said it, but I know he signed it. Now it rings a bell. Yeah. So it's Rachaad White is the number 1 and Chase Edmonds is their number 2. So East and South on NFC.
Man, AFC East just wide open right now.
What is?
AFC
I know,
East
dude.
Is just
I know.
Wide
I'll get
open.
one out of the way. I'll go AFC East. I'll go Mostert 1, and then obviously it's a collage of running backs, but Mostert 1, Devon Achane 2, or the Salvin Hamid or whatever 3, and whatever else.
Yep. Yeah, they had Mostert and HN as 1-2.
Mostert and HN as 1-2. What do you have any other names written down?
No, but you're right. I mean, I think that number 3 would be the Samir guy.
Okay. And then I'll try to get rid of AFC West, I guess. I know you were a fan of what is his name? Fancy, help me out. Javonte Williams. I was gonna say Jamal. Javonte Williams is their number 1, and then their number 2 gets tricky because it could be off an injury. It could be Samaj Perrin, but it also was that Jaleel McLaughlin or whatever because he had a couple pop off games.
What team are we looking at?
Broncos. Javonte Williams and Jaleel McLaughlin or Perrin or whatever.
Yep. That's a tough one, but to me, I would have accepted both those guys for sure.
Technically, that's
P. Ryan was a absolute beast,
especially the Bengals, bro. I was gonna bring that up.
Yeah.
When I brought up when I thought Fancy was gonna guess him, for the Bengals backup, because I thought for the longest time he was still there. And then one week he popped off for the Broncos, and I was like, when the hell did he get over there? You know?
Yep.
Man, we're getting thin, and dude, honestly what's scaring me is the AFC East. I'm drawing a blank on
I know you
Like,
know the one, but then you might not
I
get the
know.
number
No,
two.
I
And then
know the
you know.
ones typically, and it's like which one do I want to take a jab at when it comes to like. All right,
I think
so
you know Pat.
right,
I think you know
right,
Pat's.
right to left. I can come back for that. Let's go AFC South. Obviously, only team left. Travis Etienne. And dude, this is the one that's gonna mess me up because I know it. Like I can imagine him on the field because these fuckers did like this number like their numbers are so fucking similar. It's like a 2 and a 3 or some shit like that. Like and then you think it's your guy and you're like, motherfucker, that's the backup. You know what I mean? It's like you
Yep.
fucking bitch. But I like, do I need full name? Because I know it's Bigsby. I just don't know if it's Tank.
You're
With
good then.
Fancy messing up with Tank earlier, Tank
Tank
Dell
Big.
has been like
Tank
getting me
Bigsby.
shying away. Is it
You
Tank?
had it.
Is it Tank Bigs or Tank
Tank Bigsby. You had it.
Bigsby? Okay. Fancy, I really could have used some more help here, pal.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, I'm just like some of these
So,
ones you're saying,
so
I'm not even like, I don't
let's
even know who
knock
they
out
are.
the number ones
All right.
for
I
the
know.
Bills, the Jets,
The Bills I
and
can
the
do.
Pats.
The Bills because I don't know if they still have like the Bills. I can name you like 6. Like
Yeah,
I just
that's true.
so James Cook,
He's the number one.
obviously number 1, and then 2 they had a couple. They had Ty Chandler. They had Latavius Murray. They had technically Leonard Fournette. Technically Damian Harris. But injuries also, and then technically Naheem Hines from the Colts. He fucking broke his leg or whatever skiing or
Yeah,
whatever the hell it
yeah.
was. So that's 5 or 6 right there.
And you haven't named the one that they have listed
On the
as
depth
number.
charts,
Yep.
they don't have Ty Chandler, Latavius Murray, Damian Harris, or Naheem Hines or Leonard Fournette. All
They
5 of
have
those guys are on the team.
they have Ty something else listed.
What? Who is it?
Ty Johnson.
Oh my.
And then
What did I
Latavius
say?
Murray and Damian Harris.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
He barely
you're
even
in the
played too. That sucks.
you're in the ballpark, but
Yeah. I'm giving it to myself. He barely even played. Damian Harris was literally their number 2 because Damian Harris was literally taking over James Cook's job, and then he got hurt, and that's what made James Cook pop off. Was he like there was no one else. That's when they signed Leonard Fournette, and then the picture of his fucking thighs came out, and it was like
Yeah.
the size of a fucking tree, and then they were like, well, you know,
Yeah.
dude, it's really just gonna be the AFC East that fucks me. West. It's funny too because Fancy picked this guy a handful of times too. Kyron Williams gonna be a top 3 back this season.
Yep.
Okay.
And
I remember picking him.
the only reason I know their backup, I believe, is because of a sleeper trade I was involved in, and it should be Ronnie Rivers.
Classic Ronnie.
Not bad.
That's the only because I typed in the chat saying who the fuck's Ronnie Rivers, and then they were like the backup for him, and I was like, oh, that's literally how I found out who Ronnie Rivers was.
There you
Like no
go.
bullshit.
Perfect.
So sometimes it pays off to you know, pay attention to your league's you know, trades, I guess.
That's silly.
Yeah.
You're not going to get the Jets number 2. I can tell you that.
I am.
Oh.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes, he is.
Dude, I play so much fantasy football that I know I should know this. If I don't, then I don't have enough. Especially in those sleeper dynasty leagues that have like 30 roster spots. It's like you need to know
That's true.
some of these
That
guys.
makes sense then, yeah.
I'm gonna knock off the easy Patriots that I'm like I'm kind of disappointed in myself that it stuck around that long. But Ramondre Stevenson as the number 1.
Oh, I
And then
remember
you got
Stevenson.
Ezekiel Elliott as number 2.
Oh
Which
yeah.
that like now that I'm like slimming down and focusing on that, I'm disappointed that that one didn't go
Sooner.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah, I think I wouldn't have got that, but now that you say that, I'm like, oh, that does ring a bell, like a hard bell. I'm like, yeah.
Okay, the Jets, obviously Brees Hall.
Brees Lightning.
See, and technically you're just a bitch, Matt, because Dalvin Cook was their number 2, 23-24 season. So you're not gonna make it that easy on me. I know you're not,
Those
because that would have been
'cause
easy peasy because he was on the
because
Ravens. Yeah, I know.
those aren't the specifications of the game we're playing.
I hate the fact that what's in my mind isn't right now, but I'm close, and I don't want it to be my final answer, but I want to tell you what I'm thinking because I'm on the right page, but it's just
Well,
not the right name.
It's only you playing it.
like you're
It's
at
only you
confession
playing
right
at
now.
this
No, I'm
point.
just saying I don't want to announce it out loud and then be like, nope, like, because this is for all the marbles, bro. This is me. I'm
This is clearing
62
it.
for 62 right now.
This is clearing it. So don't screw it up.
63 for 63 right now. It's not Amir Abdullah, bro, but I'm fucking close on the last name. I fucking know I am. It's not Abdullah because Amir Abdullah is like, I don't know where the fuck he's at, but he's not there. But it's like the last name is like
I think he is. I think he was Raiders last.
Amir Abdullah. Yeah, you're right.
yeah.
He is. He's behind Zamir White. Just give me like.
Let me just pull up the depth chart.
No. He's Raiders. He's Raiders. Amir Abdullah is.
Okay.
But I'm saying like Abdullah. That's like what's stuck in my head right now.
So literally, I have no idea who they have listed as 2, 3, and 4. I've never heard these names in my life.
But see, I know it because they got rid of Devin Cook, and then then you have to pick up the number 2 in case Brees Hall gets hurt, and then it's like I know it. It's just I don't. Okay, I'm not gonna go first name. Maybe it's cheating, but it's like I'm not gonna be able to pronounce it right, but it.
Just give me your best.
Oh my gosh! Can I spell it? Can I? Because it's fucked up. Like maybe okay, and it's not gonna be right though. But tell me if it's close. ABENDIUNUKAH or some shit like that. It's like Abendinuka or Abenda.
Israel Abandaconda.
I mean, I had some syllables.
Yeah.
63.5 for 64.
Yeah, I'll take a half on that.
Pretty good.
Israel, what was it?
Abanaconda.
I'm gonna call him Anaconda. I'm gonna call him Israel Anaconda from now on.
There you go.
I hope he pops off in fantasy football. My buddy picked him up.
Ooh.
Hope he picks him up and he just ends up being like an absolute monster.
So that was running back depth chart. That was
yeah, I wonder how many people listening like were just like screaming, "It's Abendinuka!"
Yeah.
I mean, like you fucking idiot.
I'd like to know who knows that RB2 because
I mean, I was damn close. I just remember seeing the name pop up. I remember seeing the name pop up like Jets RB2 was like wavered off of, you know what I mean? Like, and then I'm just like, who the fuck? Like, and then you just like skip through the notification. But
right.
All right, hey, we got one more segment with Matt. Hopefully, it's a little bit. The last trivia is going to be a little bit easier than that. So I'll check you guys out over there. Howdy.
Welcome to trivia time. So try to stay on theme. We listed a bunch of names. So Fancy, hopefully you were paying attention to that second half of those running back names.
Were you Fancy?
With the names, yeah.
So this one, we did have a lot of
sorry, I already put it up there for you.
Oh no, you're good. A lot of touchdowns in the running back position. This year, some of the big names stuck out. Some jumped to this list. I need you guys to name the guys with more than 10 touchdowns in the running back position. 10. Yep.
How many are there?
So so I narrowed it that way. So it's a top 10 list.
Oh, are we like we can be teammates here?
You can be teammates. You can jump in when you want. But yeah, let's try to walk through who you think's at the top of this list.
Okay, well, Fancy, number one because he broke it. He broke a record for the team. Maybe you don't know number one.
No, I don't. I'm like,
okay,
it's like,
I'll help. Raheem Mostert for sure has got to be like
oh,
number
right.
one list.
He's at the top of this list.
Yeah, so he's got to be like number one because he had like almost 20. I want to say
21
total or rushing.
It's a great question. My list is touchdown leaders for running backs.
Okay, so it's not specific. It's okay. Wow, this is going to change the whole thing up because it's not specific to just if it's touchdowns, you got to counter in receiving too. So some of those guys can sneak in.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So Fancy,
Yeah.
we got the tip of the mountain out of the way.
Yeah.
So I'll let you take the easy one.
You said the last one was easy.
No, yeah, but this one's the easiest one.
This one's the one that I know you know.
Well, without a doubt. He just
Because
played the Super Bowl.
Oh, Pacheco.
I wasn't thinking that, but
is there another running back that played in the Super Bowl?
Fancy.
Oh, CMC, yeah.
There you go. I'm like, this guy's like anytime touchdowns like a minus 400. Like it's
also 21 touchdowns.
Really? Okay.
So that's the 1 and 2, 1A,
Yeah.
one.
We got 1, 2 out of the way.
Yep.
I'll go. I mean, the Rams, Kyron Williams has got to be up there. I mean, if we're talking total, he's. I remember like literally I remember betting and like his thing was like over 1.5 total touchdowns as like a minus 110. I'm just like,
yeah.
what?
So I'm pretty sure, just like Mostert, he had multiple 3 touchdown games.
He won on a stretch where it was like he was getting 2 or 3 a game, and I was just like, this is ridiculous.
I think it was at least 2. He might even had. Did he have like 4 one game? Like
dude, because Yaya had him, dude, and Yaya lost in the championship. I couldn't believe it. Like Yaya had a stat team, bro. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. So he had one of those stats where he had a sequence of a couple of those games. He's at 15. So he is number 3.
All right. So Fancy, we're going down the list, baby.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Fancy.
Okay, Fancy.
Who's asking this question?
Yeah, you got the combo. One of your first combos.
So yeah, but now it's like, was it Gibbs or was it Montgomery?
Probably both.
Yeah,
like, can we take 2 there? If you're doing total touchdowns, I want to say both of them are on the list.
Okay, who's got more?
Montgomery. Ooh, actually, Montgomery was hurt. I'm still gonna stick with Montgomery. That's what my gut tells me because he went on like the first 12 games he scored a touchdown or something like that.
13 touchdowns.
And how many did Gibbs have?
11.
Ooh.
And what are they on the list? 1, 2, 3.
So he's tied. Montgomery's tied for 4th.
Okay.
And Gibbs is 9. Tied for 9.
Okay, so we're like kind of middle of the pack now.
And 4 was how many did Montgomery have?
13.
Okay, so someone's tied with him at 4.
That is correct.
Good job, though, Fancy. That was 2 right off the rip.
Yeah.
That's 5. So we're halfway through the list.
Yeah.
Man, if 11 is at 9.
So there's two big names that you should be able to knock off on this list.
Barkley.
Definitely.
Barkley had a couple of big, 2, 3 games.
Just outside of the top 10 with 10 touchdowns is Barkley.
He's outside the top 10?
Oh, because it's more than 10. So it's got to be 11. I would guess.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So, okay. Wow.
Well, then, I mean, I'm trying to think of teams that either relied on it a lot, and it's like Derrick Henry, I would just assume is up there.
Yeah, Derrick Henry's got to be up there.
12 touchdowns for Derrick Henry.
Sneaky 12 too. Like did not recall him getting in there that many times.
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay. Well, another good running back that had a good year then. It's got to be up there with touchdowns on a decent scoring team is Joe Mixon.
That was the other big name that I thought you'd pull off. 12 as well.
It was like the only way they could score after Burrow got hurt.
No, Jake Browning was throwing that thing.
Oh yeah, Browning did look pretty good for.
So you are missing someone with 13 touchdowns, someone with 12 touchdowns, and someone with 11 touchdowns.
And there's just so many within that margin of like who, like if Barkley's 10, Barkley have a crazy year, but like if he had 10,
and this will go past regular season.
No,
the season.
It's just like, regular season. Okay.
We just fucking talked about him. Now my brain's like fried because I just named every running back on the planet. Fancy.
Yeah, how much of a hint do you want me to give you?
No, the Ravens.
Yep.
He fucking
Ravens. But which one?
Gus Edwards. Jeez Louise, dude. Yeah. I almost just fucking said Ray Rice. I named every other running back they had on their team. Might as well name him.
Yeah.
Okay, where's he at?
13. He's
so that's the oh fuck. I was hoping to knock down like a lower number.
Nope, 12. Someone with 12, someone with 11. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure you can get the guy with 12.
Yeah. Fancy AFC South. You took him in fantasy quite a bit.
Yep.
I'm gonna even narrow it down to a team for you to save.
Bijan? Was it Bijan?
Bijan is the NFC.
Oh, you said AFC.
AFC South.
I'm sorry. And they would not let him score a touchdown for the life of him.
AFC South.
He started off so hot. This team literally was like 8-2.
Oh, it's the Jaguars.
That's my guess, at least. You got it. He went to school. He went to school. He did. But he went to college with Trevor Lawrence.
That doesn't help me.
I was gonna say
Travis Etienne.
Yep. 12 touchdowns on him.
Etienne.
All right. So for this last spot, it is not. You wouldn't think of it just as he was not, one of the powerhouse backs. He's actually someone that I was really high on. He's someone that had 3 consecutive games where he just absolutely exploded, and that's pretty much it.
Devon-Achane.
Oh yeah.
That's all you had to say.
Yeah.
3 explosive games where 56% of his fantasy points came off of in one game, in a 70-point game against the Broncos, and then after that, his skyrocketed value went up, and then everyone went like crazy for him, and it's like, bro.
And then he sat on my bench for the rest of the season.
Yep. Wow, he made it on the list, and Barkley didn't. He only played like 3 fucking games.
Yeah, and then we had a lot of guys. We had a lot of guys at 9, and a lot of guys. So I mean, it was.
Dude, honestly, I would have almost maybe call me crazy. I almost threw Kareem Hunt in that list. He had to have been up there.
He's got to be up there because
that dude came in, signed, and I swear he was scoring a touchdown every game. Because I had Jerome Ford, he was pissing me off, because he kept taking all the touchdowns from Jerome Ford. And I love that you put running backs because we easily could have guessed Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
that's actually true. Yeah,
easily could have. No, that's interesting though. That Devon-Achane made it in there. I would not have if you didn't give as soon as you said 3 game span. I'm like, that's literally like this.
Yeah,
this guy, this fucking guy.
Oh, and of course, that's not even okay. Who are we looking for?
Kareem Hunt.
Should have just looked him up specifically. He's one of the guys at 9.
Is he? So he was just outside of that.
Just outside.
I was saying he didn't play much, but he was getting in the end zone a lot.
Yep.
Yeah. That is this week's episode. A little bit longer one, but a fun one. I mean, I had a good time. But next week we may have a special guest for you guys. Not 100% certain yet, but we will obviously just tune in and see for yourselves. Probably go over some March Madness stuff. We gotta double check that Fancy on when that starts. Fancy thinks it's sooner. Matt thinks it's a little bit later. I am just not educated at all on it. So
just not sure.
But we do want to get some brackets out there for you guys. Just talk it over. Fancy guessed the right winner last year. It was me and Fancy in the or was it year before that?
2 years ago. 2 years ago.
We didn't do one last year.
Yeah, we didn't do one
2 years
last
ago,
year.
me and Fancy, we came down to that Final Four. Me versus Fancy for the winner in our community tournament.
That was
Pretty cool. Fancy, you still
So
got the hat. You got to wear the hat next week.
yeah, for sure.
I've got the play-in games. If I'm looking at the right breakdown of the 19th and 20th.
Okay, so we still have
So we'll
time.
still
We
have
still
another.
have time
Yep.
then to break to
Okay.
make so we can make brackets next week then.
No, because
Still another week.
The play-in games will finalize the bracket that you can.
So like the
Also 2 weeks
16th,
then. We have 2
the
weeks.
16th,
Yeah.
the 16th and
Cool.
17th, I think will be selection.
All right, cool.
You know.
All right. Well, next week, we didn't go over too much, but next week, tune back in. We're gonna have a lot more updated. A lot of players are getting franchise tagged. A lot of players got released today. If you guys didn't see it, Tre'Davious White, Jamal Adams from Seattle, a lot of big names. I'm not gonna go into it right now, but lots of big names out there getting released. So there'll be lots of big names out there that are be signing after the draft, of course. But there'll be lots of stuff to talk about, especially with the franchise tag stuff coming soon. Like you said, Matt, Justin Fields, Kirk Cousins, a lot of these guys, Russell Wilson. We'll see what kind of happens with them. So make sure you guys tune in next week. But that is all that I got for you guys this week. What about you guys?
Yeah, that wraps it up for me. Definitely excited to see the talks for where people are going. Not draft wise.
Yeah, so excited for it.
Yep.
It's one of those things where it comes super fast too. It's like all of a sudden, it's like where like you almost lose track of it. Like, okay, hold on,
get signed.
Where did he go? Like, it's like it's like all of a sudden it's like 15 people, and you're just like, and then you start watching Reds, and you're like, this motherfucker's on. It's like,
oh yeah.
So, I'm waiting for that domino effect of after these franchise tags. Now we're gonna start seeing the moves.
There's some big names out there, man.
It's like girlfriends in small towns. They just get passed around. So,
thanks, Fancy.
Thanks, Fancy. And that'll be our conclusion right there and then. But appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you guys are following our socials. We've been a lot more active the past week or so, and we appreciate you guys tuning in. Later.
Bye.